Between 1949 and 1957, Mao and the CCP introduced a series of reforms to agriculture so that it could become more efficient, they would retain the support of the peasants, and produce more food in order to feed the growing workforce and trade overseas to raise money for China's industrialization. The main way Mao thought these aims could be achieved was through redistributing land from landlords to peasants. This is land reform. Part of land reform included attacking what Mao called landlordism, the system where a small number of wealthy people owned the land, making money by renting it to poor rural individuals who actually worked the land. This was antithetical to communism. The CCP did three main things to end the power of landlordism. They introduced the Agrarian Reform Law of 1950, which gave the CCP the right to take land from landlords and give it to the peasants. They used terror, as Mao's initial policy of slow and peaceful land reform failed. Overall, around 1 million landlords were killed between 1950 and 1952. Local land reform committees organised struggle meetings, which humiliated the landlords in front of their communities and sometimes led to their execution. Successes of land reform. First of all, there was widespread redistribution of wealth. In 1950 to 1952, around 40% of the land had been redistributed, with 60% of the peasants quote-unquote benefiting. It was quite vague in the textbook. I presume they mean that 60% of peasants gained land. The so-called four freedoms to buy, rent and sell land, lend money, hire labour, and trade increased production, as these gave peasants a huge incentive to work. The campaign against landlordism reduced resistance to government policy and encouraged cooperative working. The failures of land reform include the fact that the population was increasing faster than the rate of food production, and as China industrialised, the urban population only grew. Land reform created small farms, but large farms were much more efficient. This is where collectivisation fits in. Hopefully, I'll be able to cover that in another video. It's a big part of Mao's agricultural reform. Whether this is a failure or not is debatable, but one could say that the extensive force and killing of landlords was a failure. Yeah, that's the end of the video. Sorry the pacing's a bit off, but thanks.